what are we gonna do with all this rock? But it worked out. We actually had lots of rock here already.
So you knew what you were getting into because you guys have been married for 4 years. So you met him, he was already a pondaholic.
Oh yeah.
You got a battle in front of you and you fought battles for our country. We would be happy to come back in here and finish off the landscaping that you guys started.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
I know a guy that'll put it in. Dan, when did you build this pond?
So the pond was already built here.
Yep.
And we came in and, like you said, retrofitted it. Tony had called us in and he was having water clarity issues at first. Now the water's crystal clear, you can see the fish. When we first got here, you wouldn't even be able to tell there were fish in it just because it was so pea soup green and cloudy water.
How long have you had ponds?
About 10, 12 years.
Wow, so they came from your old house, huh?
Yes, sir.
I'm assuming this was the biggest pond you've ever built.
Big, bigger, bigger.
That's exactly the process. How did you find Good Earth Water Garden?
We were watching all you guys' YouTube videos, sent in the request, and they gave us a listing of 3 local ones, and it said within 72 hours or whatever, one of them will contact you. Worked out really well, because with my diagnosis, having it done this summer was huge. And we didn't really have the money to do it, so they hooked us up with Synchrony to get some loans.
The financing,
And then they actually self-financed a good chunk of it, so we're paying them monthly for it. And they also squeezed us in like a week after we called. They came down. We originally just wanted a wetland, and then when they got here, we were like, well, how about you just redo it so it looks more natural, because our original one wasn't that natural.
Sure, you just had the guy that was digging some of the foundation work do the excavation, then you threw a liner down yourself, or he did it, or how'd you do it?
No, yeah, we've done it just because I've done them in the past, but I've never done one this size. And after watching a lot of your guys' videos, I realized it was way under filtered. But we had them hook up the Aquamat dosing system and the ion gen and kept it crystal clear. I mean, we couldn't see an inch down until they'd come up to eat when we threw them food before, and now you can see all the way to the 3 foot plus.
So, explain to me, Dan, what you saw when you came here and then what you guys did.
This pond was very similar in shape. There was a small waterfall over here that Tony had done, a small one just on the edge, some pieced together filtration from different manufacturers, and some things that you guys have found on Amazon too, just UV filters and some other pressure filter type of applications. And it just wasn't working. So we came in and just talked about kind of what they wanted to see, what their ideas. And at first, like Tony had said, it was just starting with the wetland filter, of adding it. It was originally actually going to be over here on this side of the deck, and I'm glad they decided to remove their existing waterfall and move it over here. As we got to talking a little bit more, we kind of discussed not just the water clearing and the filtration, but what they'd like to see with their pond in general. Just from watching your YouTube videos and vlogs, they've noticed that a lot of the ponds have rocks and gravel around them. Before, there were a lot of very similar sized stones around the edge. They're very uniform and rectangular. And we ended up using a lot of those inside the pond where you can't see them as well. And then we came in with more like the natural large slab boulders.
Yep, to break up the ring of pearls look is what we call it.
Exactly, exactly. Then the waterfall over here, it was pretty good for what the homeowners had done. But he wanted to go ahead and just redo it and wanted to replace everything he had with just Aquascape products. He did.
I like that. That sounds good. You've been watching a lot of the vlogs.
He got rid of all of his pumps, all the UV filters, the old biofilter, replaced that with Aquascape, the skimmer, replaced that with Aquascape, and then over there we have our wetland filter, and that's of course designed using the specs that you all help a lot of your contractors out with. Yes.
And the results speak for themselves.
They speak for themselves here. Crystal clear water.
How many tons of boulders did you bring in for this?
I think we brought in probably close to 20.
So 40,000 pounds of rock brought in. Were you a little bit shocked when you saw some of the rocks coming in, Karen?
It was I mean, they were semi-loads, 2 of them, and I was like, what are we gonna do with all this rock? But it worked out. We actually had lots of rock here already.
We made them go their way having rock that we had already ordered, because I knew you needed rock and gravel in it. So we had a day where we had a bunch of family come to put in. I contacted them that morning. I was like, before we put in, you have to tear it all back out. So we ended up just having them do it all, and it turned out 100% wonderful.
100% recommend not doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you can do it yourself like you have done for 12 years on a smaller bottom, but this is a professionally installed water feature. What would a project like this entail from Good Earth?
With the retrofitting and everything, was just a little north of 40,000. If we were gonna do an entire pond like this, probably close to like the $60,000 range though.
This is kind of a Ferrari pond. I mean, this is a big water feature. When you consider the average water feature is 11 by 16.
Typical backyard pond.
Yeah.
Now.
This is a new truck in your backyard.
Yeah.
Was it a good investment?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
100%.
Amen, brother. You guys spend a lot of time out here now, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure. And everyone that comes over is like amazed. They want to know who did it, and they want to know everything about it, and he loves telling people about the pond.
Greg Wittstock, the pond guy here. All right, I'm taking over the channel and I'm showing you the rest of this water feature here. So the main reason why Tony called us over was to improve the filtration of this water feature, and that starts with the wetland filter, which is right here behind me. I hope I'm getting a good shot of it. As you've probably seen in other aquascape videos, the wetland filter, the heart of the filtration of the pond, it's like a big kidney to filter out impurities, sediments, just nutrients in the water feature. And what the water's doing is it's rising up from a series of gravel. This is about 2 feet deep of gravel, and then a series of aqua blocks to disperse the water. The water rises up through here and then travels through this little stream area, and then it goes into the pond over here and gets some new oxygen in the water. And of course we have another waterfall to increase the water flow in this stream to kind of enhance the area a little bit more. Also, another thing I really like about this feature is we wanted to create a little area for people to be able to cross, so we got this little stepping rock, and then they can just step right across onto the deck here.
What did I say when I walked in here? It's perfect, but there's one thing that it needs more. What was that? Landscaping. Both of you guys are Army veterans, right?
I am. She was a civilian.
But you served our country. You went overseas.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I could tell from the tattoos.
Yeah.
So Dan, I think the only thing to finish this pond off is a little bit more landscaping. So based on your story and based on your service, Aquascape would love to donate some more landscaping for you.
Really?
Absolutely, brother.
Wow.
You got a battle in front of you, and you fought battles for our country. We would be happy to come back in here and finish off the landscaping that you guys started.
That's awesome.
That is amazing.
I know a guy that'll put it in. Yeah, this is a labor of love, and you know, you guys got a big battle in front of you, and we would be honored to be able to do this.
That's awesome. We really appreciate that.
Greg Wittstock, the landscape designer.
Well, it's actually not that hard when you just naturalize it. I wouldn't change a thing about what you currently have. I would just do more of it. And so one of the things to help naturalize the water feature is you don't want to know where, and I think you've heard this, where the water ends and the land begins. Well, you've got kind of a lot of stone on the edges. What I would do is I would just pull the gravel back about a foot, and I would do a planting zone around the edges. The exact plants you have here, potato vines would be great, some sedums, but just more ground covers on the edges that will grow over. Dan used fantastic rock here, these big boulders, but to soften up the borders and then maybe some more aquatic plants. And we have, I think it's pickerel over here that's in a plant. I would take out all of the marginal plants and I would put in directly in the gravel. So what we'll do is we'll ship you out more interior aquatic plants to help soften up the thing, and then externally, all you got to do is put ground covers and sedums and maybe some junipers. If you get some creeping junipers on the edge, it'll be year-round green. And it's just that the last little finishing touches. So when I walked back here, the first thing I said was beautiful. The landscaping needs to mature a little bit more, but let's get it going first, because who knows how much more time you guys have to enjoy this together. Let's get this thing looking great right away. So by the time this video comes out, we will have shown how we have done the finishing touches on this spectacular project by Good Earth Water Gardens. If you guys like meeting cool people like I do, I don't even want to leave. I want to hang out here all day in this relaxing thing. Please like, comment, subscribe, and follow along with these vlogs and inspire more people to live the aquascape lifestyle. Hey, I love
my job.
I love his job too.